All right, so you guys know my thoughts on propaganda, social engineering, etc., especially space-based propaganda. If you guys don't know, you should really pay attention. That it appears as though the space-based propaganda has been around since the very inception of Hollywood, mass media in general, radio into film and TV. Um, One of the first movies ever made was a French movie called Voyage to the Moon. Um, you can go all kinds of things. Up to 2001 Space Odyssey, the magazines. I've gone into, there's a magazine called Amazing Stories where they were showing the globe in the 1920s. And they had like cartoons and comics of like men on the moon in like the 20s in spacesuits with like a perfect globe behind it. So the propaganda's been around. So let me show you guys this. It's a this is an ABC News. It might be BBC. It's presented through ABC News. Oh, it's Australian. It's ABC, but it's the Australian Public Broadcast Service. So when I saw ABC, yeah. So it's the Australian Broadcast Service. I should have recognized their goofy accents. And this is a 1962 segment entitled, "Is There Life on Other Planets?" Now, I want you guys to remember something, and how I always talk to you guys about how things are assumed and presupposed, and how indoctrination works, how logical fallacies work. Even in the title, "Is there life on other planets?" All right, well, let me ask you this. Did we know that Earth was a planet in 1962? Because I played for you guys a clip the other day when Neil deGrasse Tyson was on Steve Colbert, and he said it wasn't until the moon mission, 1969 through 1972, the Apollo moon missions, where we finally confirmed that Earth was a planet. When we were out all the way at the moon and on the way back, we were able to see the globe Earth as a planet amongst the other planets. Well, which is interesting, because if we didn't confirm that Earth was a planet until the moon missions, why are we in 1962, not even a decade after the first satellite in space from Sputnik in the mid-50s, why in 1962 are we just saying Earth's a planet? And even some of you guys who are onto the lies of NASA and the globe and stuff, even some of you guys are just out of reflexively, it's like still like calling and thinking Earth's a planet. Well, who says it's a planet? It kind of just seems like Earth is the Earth, and there's like luminaries in the skies. And there's these certain luminaries that sort of transgress their fixed place in the cosmos, and they kind of wander around. Some people used to call them wandering stars, and we now call them planets. But again, I just want to show you guys, and some of it gets really detailed, semantics, but just the title. That's how indoctrination works. So anyway, let's go into this. Oh, Staveley's here. Staveley, watch this with me, dude. I want to hear your critique on this. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, so guys, this is from the Australian Broadcasting Company. 1962. Is there life on other planets? Where this obvious, guys, you want to talk about agents? Maybe stop saying Brian Staveley and Zetetic Warrior and Dave Weiss and Rose 777 are agents. Maybe maybe we could point the fingers of the real agents against humanities, like a guy in 1967 who's going to come on in a suit, greased up hair, and a well-produced segment and tell you that, oh, is there life on other planets? Let's continue.
Do you indeed think that there is life on other planets? Do you think there's life on other planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you like to think about it for a second?
Oh, not really.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose there would be.
He seems definite. You seem
Definitely.
definite. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
You've seen one?
Yes,
Where was this?
definitely. At Lane Cove.
When was this?
All right, so let's start here. Maybe this guy indeed saw a flying saucer. There's all kinds of weird fucking shit going on in the skies. But notice the presupposition, likely due to indoctrinated beliefs through movies, that this guy goes, yeah, there's life on other planets. I saw a flying saucer. I mean, Staveley, like that's the thing. It's like we associate now, okay, UFO means other planets, means the bending and warping of space-time and wormholes and warp speed. Oh, and they came from distant galaxies and they've used the bending and warping of space-time to make it here. What are your thoughts, Staveley?
I think that's a sign of all the conditioning that people have been beat over the head with. I mean, it's just a given. It's just a given to them that there's other planets and everything. So yeah.
Right.
And the other thing too, when you're talking about like UFOs and stuff, that's something we need to be careful about too. Like, okay, a lot of people get to flat Earth and realize a lot of things, and I'm not one that says space is fake. I don't use that terminology. I say space travel, and we don't really know what's up there, what the stars sit in, and all that. We kind of all have our own opinions, but we can't dismiss that people actually see unexplained phenomenon in the sky. And I've seen a lot of that in the early years of the community. Well, just to discount everything because there's definitely weird stuff that people are seeing in the sky. Now, me and you obviously don't think that's coming from trillions of miles away. What is it? Is it a government psyop? Is it advanced technology? Is it crafts from other lands? I don't know, but there's definitely weird shit going on up there. And the other thing I want to add too that we got to be careful with, because I've seen this thing, how when things go viral in the truth community, like, and everybody jumps on it right away, that should be your first red flag, that, yeah, there's probably some truth there, but it's probably leading you down another rabbit trail. I've kind of thought that about Project Bluebeam for a while. You plant this in the seed, not that they don't have hologram technology and all that. Of course they do, but you plant this, it's so easy for a truther to come across the ideas of Bluebeam even a decade ago. It makes me think that there's probably stuff that goes on in the sky that's on a spiritual level, and they know that we're going to start to see more of that. So what's going to happen? The normies are going to see it, and people like this guy are going to assume it's aliens from outer space. The truthers are going to see it and call it blue beam, meanwhile ignoring that it might be something on a deeper level. It's a possibility for people to think of. I'm not saying blue beam doesn't exist, but always look deeper into what's being promoted in the truth community.
Yeah, good thoughts. Let's continue.
1953.
You don't think this is a figment of your imagination?
Several other people with me saw it.
You all had the same figment. What did it look like?
It was standing up there still,
Just suspended in space,
with colours coming out of it.
flat or on its side?
It was around.
And you think this was sent from another planet? Do you?
I really do. Well, where else would it come from?
Do you think there's life
See
on
it?
other planets?
Where else would it come from?
Yeah, where else? Oh, I don't know. Maybe past the Antarctic.
Yeah, maybe anywhere. Yeah,
Pacific Ocean, could be anywhere. I mean, we're so dumb as to far as like what this place is, and they control the maps and the guidance systems and everything. I mean, you don't even got to go past the far lands probably to find hidden land, So they could be coming from an island that we aren't even aware of. That's just a few hundred miles off the coast in one of these continents. Who knows?
right. I always come back to. I'm getting a little bit of echo, Staves. Just I'm not sure.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I always come back to people don't realize how much their beliefs and their belief system plays into their paradigm and their worldview. They don't realize that, the globe is a belief that they hold. They don't realize that Earth being a planet is a belief. So their paradigm, their worldview is shaped by these underlying beliefs, which likely have been conditioned. It's only until you realize that it's a belief can you then move on. That's why I'm so consistent with my message here, is to try to shake people's fundamental belief systems and get them out of that paradigm. We always talk about, Staveley, it's people's paradigm that they have, and to let go of the paradigm is difficult because we define ourselves through our paradigm, you know. But I always constantly try to go down to this thing. What do you believe? Is it fact, or do you just believe it to be so? So like this guy said, oh, where else would they come from if not other planets? Because
It's
you
always
believe
belief.
there's other planets. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's always belief, and they think it's fact because of their appeal to authority. It's that simple. They believe people are telling them the truth, and people smarter than them have figured it out.
Yeah, right on. Let's continue.
Oh, well, I wouldn't like to even discuss that.
Why not?
It's a debatable point, I suppose.
What do you
but-
think yourself? You must have an opinion here.
Well, definitely not.
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 Well, what leads you to say that? Scientific investigation or?
Well, only working off the theory of the Bible. Well, there's only one world, isn't there? And
Do you think that can stand up to present scientific investigation?
Oh, I
this
think it
biblical
could.
creed? Do you think so?
I
As
think
far
it
as the
could.
universe goes.
Mhm. Definitely so.
In your opinion,
Right. So then they bring in the old guy to come in because it's a different flavor for everybody. They're going to give you everything. So now it's the old guy painting him as like, you know, he's kind of out of touch. Oh, look at this old son of a bitch. He's just going to go back to the Bible. He's going to basically give some standard indoctrinated spiel on scripture, but he's like old and out of touch. So, you know, he wouldn't know. Let's go with that one. And you know, then they got this lady, same thing with her pearls. You got to wonder, Staveley, okay, is this guy a real, we know he's probably not a real journalist. I mean, who knows where the fuck this guy
Well, what is it? What's a real journalist anyway? Is a paid professional liar, really. So even if he's a real
Right.
journalist, he's still a paid liar. He's going to read whatever script they tell him to go on the street with.
Right. And then it comes down to like, you know, like crisis actors, paid actors. Like you wonder, are these people really off the street? Like, was this old lady really walking down the street with her pearls on, camera ready, you know, or are they bringing this lady in? I mean, is she in on it? And you could make that even a bigger question, Brian, about, again, like any of these, you know, these events that they have, these bang bang events. Are they paid actors? Are they crisis actors, et cetera, et cetera? Or are they just like unwitting in the whole thing? What are your thoughts? Even like this video, you think they're bringing people in or they're just pulling random people off the streets?
I would tend to think that it's completely set up and they're bringing people in.
Part of me thinks that too. All right, let's continue.
Yeah. It's hard to tell after just a couple clips.
No, I hope not.
Why do you hope not?
Because they'd be frozen to death.
Do you think there is life on other planets?
No, I'm German. Yes, definitely.
Why?
He just goes, no, I'm German. Like, what's that? Like, he can't think or something? Like, what's that even supposed to mean?
Yeah, a better option for them would be, honestly, if they say they approached 100 people, right, and did these types of questions, get an honest response from them, but then just edit out the ones that don't give the answers you want. It's probably what they did, you know? That would make even more sense, right, than have people act in these roles. Just literally go out in the street. You ask 100 people, you're going to get, you know, enough answers of what you want to put in the final video and manipulate people that way.
Yeah, good point.
What sort of life do you see up there?
Vegetable.
Do I think there's life on other planets? No.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't think we'll find anything when eventually we land on Venus?
I don't think we'll find life.
What do
We
you think
might
we'll
find very interesting things, though.
Such as?
Oh, I couldn't really say what as. I don't know. But I dare say it'll be something worth knowing.
I think there is life on other planets.
And how do you see this life? How do you visualize it yourself? Is
It's
it
like
like this?
queer-looking people.
Again, like showing the age thing. Like this young lady, of course there's life on other planets. Which is funny because I'm thinking, Staveley, if you went out and interviewed people, I would say 9 out of 10 people, maybe more than 90%, they're just going to assume that there's life on other planets. Like, that's how far we've come since 1962, is that now the older people, the boomers now, the older generation, they're all bought in. They already had Star Trek, Star Wars. They already had the propaganda. Now almost everybody's going to be bought into the life on other planets. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how that's kind of flipped. They were kind of frowned upon as the wacky conspiracy theorists if they believed in aliens from other planets, but now it's like the mainstream thing, you know? And are they ever going to have this like quote unquote disclosure? Everybody, and we know it's going to be bullshit because we know they're not coming from outer space. But I don't think so. They just keep kicking that can down the road as well, and that's the game the government and the media plays. You know, are they really admitting there's other life? And then people can go in both directions with it, argue both sides about is the government covering up aliens from outer space, or are they going to admit it? Right? Is the media covering up, or are they going to admit it? Meanwhile, the fact remains that there are no aliens from outer space. It's just like all the rabbit trails with every conspiracy theory. You argue two sides of part of it that isn't even real. Like, and I'll be safe for your channel here, but 2 planes can't take down 3 buildings, you know? And it's like, well, how many times are you going to recite 2 planes over and over? You know what I mean? It's that type of discussion.
Right.
Queer-looking people. They're totally different from the people on Earth.
I suppose so.
Uh-huh. Would you like to get up there yourself and see it on Venus?
Not particularly.
Why not?
So I like it down here.
I reckon there is.
What makes you reckon that?
Well, just I don't know. It's not imagination. It's just what.
You're being led by scientific discoveries, etc.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how do you see this life? If you think there is life up there, how do you see it? What form do you think it takes?
Animal, because we're animals, aren't we?
Some of it.
Yes.
Speak for yourself. How do you see them up there, though?
Oh,
I mean, the same as here? You think you can land on Venus will discover people like you?
No.
Totally different.
It all depends what atmosphere they're living in. I think it'll be an animal form, but I don't think it'll be like us.
You think that's a good thing?
Well, I don't know.
Would you like to get up there and find out for yourself?
Definitely.
Would you?
Too right,
You'd
I would.
volunteer for this?
Too right, I would. I'd like to be the first woman in space.
Do you think there is life on other planets?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you thought about
Now, Staveley, I'm looking at her. Look, I walk down the streets. I don't know where they are, but I don't see many women looking kind of like her. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you were in
She
like
doesn't
New
even-
York.
Yeah, dude, she doesn't even look like she's in the right reality or time structure of this whole interview. She like sticks out totally, dude.
Exactly. When I first watched this, she stuck out to me, and I think she's the last. I think she's the last person they interview here. It's like, it's almost like really like she's walking down the street like looking like that, like completely like. Look at her pressed shirt. It's perfectly pressed. I mean, I get it. There's some women who she could have been a model. I don't fucking know, but like, it's just funny to me that like she shows up. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. She totally looks like.
thought about this at all?
No.
Do you think there is life on other planets?
No French.
No speak.
I speak English. French.
Vous pensez qu'il y a autre vie de les planètes? Mars et Venus.
Oui.
Oui?
Oui.
C'est français, là?
Où ça là-bas, chez Mars? Je sais pas.
Do I think what?
There is life on other planets.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Wouldn't have a notion, would I?
Hey?
I wouldn't have a notion.
You haven't thought about this at all?
Oh, I've thought about it, but no, I wouldn't think there would be.
Do you think it would be a good thing for the Earth if there was life indeed up there on Venus?
I suppose competition is pretty good at any time, isn't it?
And there you have it, folks.